Hi everyone, just a quick message before this particular episode just to say thanks so much for the support over the last couple of days. It has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for the encouragement and the suggestions and the thoughts. All sorts of stuff has come through my way, which has been brilliant. I really appreciate it, and you are very, very welcome here on my channel and my United City community. So thank you for being with me. Just the other thing that I wanted to say is over the last couple of weeks I've been playing about with our times of when I drop my videos a little bit. I've done 4 p.m, 8 p.m. I was thinking about doing another time slot next week, but actually came to the conclusion that this week's been so successful and so positive that it feels like it's found its natural spot already. And this will remain my spot at 8 p.m. GMT every evening, hopefully from Monday to Saturday, but maybe not always Saturday. There'll be a video from me on this particular channel. So that's 8 p.m. GMT every day, Monday through Saturday, most weeks. So yeah, those are the couple of things I wanted to say. Thanks again for the support. Really appreciate it. Enjoy this particular episode, and I will speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye for now. Hi everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Relegation Rescue with me, the United City FM. I'm not sure if my puppy's in shot there for a second, but that's Lottie, if you spotted her there. And I'm sure she'll be in a few videos along the way. She often just sleeps just down there whilst I'm recording, so yeah. So Augsburg, that's who we're taking over. We're sitting bottom of the league. It's just in the new year, January 19th of 2020 now. I've been through a few days of trying to reshape the squad into our first game against Borussia Dortmund that's coming up in a little moment or two. And that's going to be a real tough game, isn't it, against Borussia Dortmund? But we've all got to play them at some point, so it might as well be now. I have made some changes though, and if we go into the transfer history, you can see that I've got rid of a few players. These 1/1/2020 ones are the ones, and down are the ones that I got rid of. A little bit of money coming in, a couple of loans. I got rid of a couple of other random youngsters as well, just in terms of free transfers, etc., and releasing a few just to redress the balance of the player wage that we've got an issue with. And you can also see that down here I've bought some in as well. I've bought 4 players in, and the club had already decided to bring 2 youngsters in before I came here. So the 4 that I've bought in is, first off, is Oliver Batista Meyer, and he comes in as a left wing option. We had no left wing option. We had Vargas out there and nobody else. And I wanted to play with wingers because Hahn and Vargas were pretty good, I thought. So one on the right, one on the left. So I needed to find some backup. And this is as good as I could find. It's been very difficult. We've had no real transfer budget to work with. It's all been about wage structure and trying to redress that and get some loan players in, basically. The club are in a bit of a financial, let's say a bit of a financial pickle at the moment. So we're trying to help solve that. So Meyer comes in. Mavropanos comes in from Arsenal, central defender. I had 3 reasonable central defenders, and I needed a 4th just to give that opportunity to rotate the side a little bit and get some competition for players for places. And Mavropanos comes in and is pretty much on par with most of the other central defenders I've got, so he'll get some game time, and that will give me options moving forward. So that's a positive. Next one, this is a good one. Carlos Elena. A central midfield player, something that we really lacked. We had a couple of good central midfield players, but a real couple of duffers in there as well, to be honest. It was one of the real weak spots in the side. And so bringing this guy in has really helped that. And he's going to place in the 2-man midfield that we've set up in our current 4-4-2 tactic. And I'm really pleased by him. I had a couple of other irons in fires that didn't work out. I tried to get the likes of Phil Foden in on loan, but the fee... The sort of the transfer sort of the loan fee was too much, even though we could afford the wages, so there was a problem in that. So he didn't come in the end. Morgan Gibbs White was the other one that I decided to bring in as a sort of a backup to Elena. So he's going to come in and get a little bit of game time here and there, but a good youngster with some good attributes that can only develop, and I hope that we'll help him do that in the next few months that he's with us. And the last two, as I say, are a couple of youngsters that aren't really much, to be honest. They're about 17, 18 years old and have got a lot of growing to do to be anywhere near the first team. So that's the transfer business we've done so far. We've still got a couple of weeks left of the transfer market, which is good. But you can see that the wage budget is much better now. We've rejigged the whole finances of the club, taken away that transfer budget a little bit because there was nothing we could do with it. There was nobody that was available for us to buy at the right price with the right kind of attributes. We're still overall in the red as a club, so we've still got a long way to go to sort that out if we can. To be honest, I'm not so worried about that. This is going to be quite a short-term save, really, just to see if we can keep this team up this particular season. So I'm not so worried about the future of the club at this point. And the rest of it is going okay in the sense of we haven't played a game since you and I were together last. Rostock was the last game we played, and we got a 1-1 draw in that friendly match just to see what the squad was about. Today, as I say, is a real tough one against Dortmund. They're currently sitting second in the league. But in general terms, things are pretty good. We've got a couple of injuries. This is the guy that was our central midfielder, but you can see he's 35 years old, got no pace and strength, and nothing about him in the physical so much. Has good ability on the ball, but yeah, just isn't what I really wanted to base my central midfield around, really. So I've allowed him to go on the transfer list. And you can see that he's got a bid against him, so he'll probably move on. There's a couple of others down here that have got on the transfer list as well, and hopefully some of them will go. Lichtsteiner is going to go in July, around July time, so he'll stay with us for the rest of the season, but I've decided to move him on. He's just only going to decline from now as a 36-year-old. He might get some game time with us, but I'm not so worried about that. We've got a couple of other good options. Jedve in the right back option is a decent option, and his backup is Framberger, and he's a decent option as well. So I'm not so worried about Lichtsteiner. He can sit there for a couple of months and then go off on a transfer. That's fine by me. So for today's game, we've got 9 substitutes that we can play in the Bundesliga, apparently. I didn't know that. That's a new one on me. I can't say that I watched the Bundesliga an awful lot. I don't have access to it particularly. So it's all a bit new to me. So yeah, the setup is still going to be the 4-4-2. We've got a couple of our new signings in and around the squad. The likes of Elena in the team itself. And then we've got I think Mavropanos is coming back from a knock, so he's not around today. But the other guys are on the bench, or should be on the bench, let's say. Where's Meyer? There's Meyer. He's got an issue with fitness, but he can come and sit on the bench in place of Scheiber. I'm going to have to change some of these names just to make it easier for me. So we've got Kubek in goal, and we've got Jedve right back, Max at left back, Suchi we'll go with, I think. Udikai. Yeah, these are going to be some challenging ones. Udikai, we'll go with that. And Gruzo and Elena and Hahn and Vargas and Gregovic and Finn Bogerson. I'm going to go into Gregovic immediately, and we're going to go... Just Greg. There you go. That's now his name. Just Greg and Finn Bogerson up top. So that'll be the team for today. They're all fit and healthy, so that's good. We've got a couple of little minor knocks around, but that'll improve as we go. So yeah, let's get into this really, really tough fixture against Borussia Dortmund and see how we get on. So in terms of team talk, I decided to leave it blank and not put any pressure on them today. There's no expectation to get a positive result here, really. I just want to be competitive if I can and not get too badly beaten if possible. We're at home though, so that's a good thing in our white kit for today. So let's see how we get on. First opportunity for us down the left-hand side, which is positive. You can see that we're using the winter ball, the orange ball. That helps it get seen when the snow's around, if that shows up. Vargas into Just Greg and back out to Vargas, and Max into Finn Bogerson. Back to, some good play there, some really good play, but slightly too intricate maybe and around that box. And they came a cropper a little bit of just trying to overplay it slightly. But Elena with the opportunity. Whoa! What a great debut goal that is by Elena. And he's right to do a cartwheel after that one, isn't he, really? That was amazing. Some really good play. It went back to our defensive area, into Max again, who brought it back out from the defence down the left-hand side, cuts it into Elena, who gets it out of his feet, and then left-footed rockets a ball home into that far corner. And we take a really surprise 1-0 lead against Borussia Dortmund in our first game. And watch the fight back now come from them, and they have a corner kick, and it's partially cleared onto the top of the penalty box, and we put the pressure on them. That's good. Possibly too much pressure. There was a bit of a foul there, but they maintain possession and hold it very nicely and work their way down the left-hand side of the box, and the cross is blocked really nicely, and Hahn gets it away, and Finn Bogerson up to Just Greg, who's got plenty of space to run into. Can he put the finish away? The goalkeeper stands up really well, and it goes straight at him. But another great opportunity, and the highlight hasn't ended. We've still got the ball, and we lose it, and they come back at us. And are they going to counter-attack us and catch us on the break? Alcacer into Royce, and this is so unfortunate. The goalkeeper came out for the Royce effort, and it fell into the path of Brandt, I think that was, and he calmly places it into a completely open net. But we really gave it a good go just before that, didn't we? Alcacer, you can see, runs at us, and we hold our shape pretty well. Royce gets off his marker, which is unfortunate, and the goalkeeper does well, but Brandt's there on the follow-up, and we go down to 1-1, which is, perfectly okay, really, in the big scheme of things, but just a little bit disappointing how the goal came about, having had such good attacking opportunities ourselves. But we are definitely in this game. They've got more possession than we have, which is fine. You'd kind of expect that. But we've had a few attempts at goal, and another opportunity for us to clear our lines. Hahn tried to go up to Just Greg, and it comes back into our midfield, but over the top again. Finn Bogerson this time, and he tries to chip the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper again parries it very nicely over the top of the bar, but that gives us a corner kick. And the corner comes into the near post, and it's Hahn underneath it, narrowly over the top. Royce here with a free kick, goes long into the box, partially cleared, and then again by Vargas. Nobody quite there from our strikers to pick up the loose ball, but we've still got our shape. Can we put another few bodies on the line and block the shots? And they have a go from distance, but it was nothing really, was it? It went wide with no major issues for our goalkeeper at all. And it looks like we're going to reach half-time in a fairly good shape. Oh no, have I put the curse on it? Please don't get a goal in the last seconds of the first half. But they have a chance down their right-hand side. Cross comes in, and a good clearance again, but again up. That's the commentator's curse for you, isn't it? You say something about getting to half-time and being in a good place, and immediately that happens. They worked it well down the right-hand side of our box. They get some space. Cross comes in. A reasonable half clearance there. Whoever that guy was, our defender that it went straight past, I think it was I don't know who it was, but whoever it was, I would have hoped for a bit more, really, just to stick out a boot and try and get something on it, maybe. Who would it have been? Udukai, I think it probably was. But yeah, disappointing in the last couple of seconds, but we can, I think, go with the assistant and sympathise with them. I think that was a really, really good effort, and we are still very much in this game. So let's go back into the second half. No reason to change anybody at half-time. Little bit of anxiety around. I'm not really sure I like that necessarily. Let's see if we can go in the shout and encourage them. Just to see if we can get some of that anxiety out of the side a little bit. Sancho, though, hasn't done much in this game so far. Had an opportunity to run as fullback then and chose not to, really, but has now got some space in the box. There's no way VAR isn't going to give that, is there? Referee goes over to the monitor, and I'm sure they're going to give a penalty for that. You saw Sancho drift by the defender quite easily, and he brought him down, I think, with no issues with regards to that at all. Here comes the referee. What's his decision? And it's a penalty. Yeah, it was always going to be, wasn't it? It was a dodgy challenge. And let's see whether the let's see if the goalkeeper can do something about it though. Royce steps up and puts it very calmly into that bottom corner of the goal, and the goalkeeper dived the wrong way, so no problem on the penalty kick. It's going to look a little bit unfortunate, I think. If we were to go further down than this, I think that would be unfortunate from our first half display anyway. Let's just see what we can do here. We've already given the shout to encourage. We're at positive already, so I don't really want to go any more attacking that. I don't want to sort of lose the shape and the desire to try and be in this game at this point. This is a bit of a free hit, really. And you can see that we're still having plenty of opportunity to get on the ball. We've just got to make slightly better decisions when we're on it. They're working their way through our midfield, which is obviously a man light compared to theirs, but then they go wide right and get a chance to get it back into Sancho, into Witsel, and they're keeping the ball very nicely. But there's our banks of four working very nicely at this point. Can we get a block on the shot? We can't. Brandt shows the quality again in the Borussia Dortmund side, doesn't he? On that corner of the penalty box from a really challenging angle, I would say. Gets it out from his feet and then powers the shot into the far corner. Some good play there. I do like the shape that we've got, and we are supposed to be sort of putting our foot in a little bit here and there, I hope, just to see if we can get... or maybe I haven't done that. Maybe I've told them to stand off too much. I'll have to change that, I think, in future and make them a little bit more physical, maybe. But all in all, it's going to look far worse than I think it actually is at this point. We're going to make a couple of substitutions just to keep a few people fit and healthy and get some more of these guys on the pitch. So let's see what we want to do here. So we're going to take Vargas off because he's got a yellow card, and I want to bring Batista Meyer on anyway and just give him a little bit of a run around and see whether he can sort of improve his fitness. We've got some slightly weaker defensive ratings going on here, so we'll change one of them. He can come out, and then we've got a frustrated Hahn on the right hand side. Now Richter is really a striker, really. If we go in and I can't click on him in there, but he's a bit more of a striker, but he can do a job out there for now. It's one of the other positions I'd quite like to do something about in the next couple of days of the transfer window if I can, but I'm finding it hard to find a decent right-sided midfielder that I can bring in on loan, but I'm still looking. But another opportunity just to get more people on the pitch. See, we've done okay, I think, really, in general. I am pleased with the way it's gone. We were definitely in this game for the first half. And then the second half, they dominated and showed their quality a little bit more. But I think even now we're trying to sort of remain in the game and play in a positive way. Goalkeeper goes long up to Finnbogason, and he just gets parried the shot by the goalkeeper. Decent effort, though, wasn't it? And a good opportunity given to him by the goalkeeper. But there you go, 4-1. I guess it's kind of what we probably should have expected at this point in the season. The performance was disappointing. We should let them know. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to calmly just say, I can't fault any of your performance. It was just one of those days, because that's what I want. More confidence, more motivation from the team moving forward. We've got some better games coming up. We've got the likes of Union Berlin coming up, I think, in the next couple of days. And so those are the sorts of games that we need to be getting the points from, really. So let's just go in and check the schedule. We are going to play quite a lot of these games on episodes because it's going to be quite a short series. So I'll probably be coming back every other game, if not every, play a few games in a row for a while. I think what I'll do on this occasion is I'll play the Union Berlin game off camera. I'll then come back for Werder Bremen, because then the transfer window will have closed as well, and we can just round up exactly what I've managed to achieve in the next episode with playing Werder Bremen as well. So I think that's what I'll do. So I hope you'll join me for the next episode. There'll probably be some more wheeling and dealing going on, so check back on that. Thanks so much for the amount of likes and support that the first episode got. It was unbelievable how many of you watched it, so I really appreciate that, and I hope it's going to be a fun ride along the way. I think we can do something with this team, definitely, but just at the moment they're in a little bit of disarray, and we need to settle it down and find our way a little bit, and so that's what we'll begin to do over the next couple of games, hopefully. So yeah, join me for the next episode. Thanks for joining me for this one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do keep up to date with the released videos. That will help tremendously. If you like this episode, again, click that like button. You've been doing it brilliantly over the last couple of days, so keep clicking those like buttons. It helps to get seen by lots of other people. But until next time, thanks for joining me. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon, and bye for now.